morning, Flosstube. Happy September 1st. It is the first day of Sampler September. Friday, September 1st, 2023. Holy cow, we are here already. We have been planning and plotting this Sampler September since, I don't know, March, April. I don't even remember when we started working on this one, but we're finally here and we get started. So I have got myself sat here in my work stitching spot. I've rearranged some of our shop models that were all downstairs in the front room. We occasionally have, well, we've had 2 open houses here at the Evertote workshop. We were hoping to have another one this fall around the time that we do the Modern Folk Embroidery retreat here in London, Ontario. I didn't introduce myself again, did I? If you're new, my name is Caroline. Welcome. I am recording here in London, Ontario, Canada. And today is day 1 of some frequent vlogs that are going to be happening on this channel throughout the month, all with the cross stitch and a little bit of knitting focus, working on our combined stitch along, knit along for Sampler September, hosted by me and working with 3 other really wonderful small Canadian crafting businesses: Maximum Cross Stitch, Roxy Floss Co, and Timber Yarns. So yeah, so we haven't had an open house since right before the construction started, which would have been in March, I think, early March. I don't remember. But the road that the workshop is on is under massive renovation. Like, everything is being done: sewer, electrical, the road work. They're putting in a rapid bus lane, dedicated rapid bus lane. There's going to be they're going to be all going down the center of the road. There's going to be the bus stops and the bus lanes and all of that. So we also, I'm pretty sure that they're burying all of the hydro wires as well, which is going to be really nice. And fingers crossed that they give us fiber network so that we can upgrade our internet, because we only have one option for internet where we're located, and it rhymes with flodgers and it stinks. And I mean, we like just this particular location, I don't know why it's so bad, but it really is. I mean, we use Rogers at home. We seem to switch every couple of years. In Canada, if you don't know, there's not a lot of options in Canada. Those of you from the United States, you're very lucky with your options. But in Canada, we're a little bit limited with our choice. So John and I seem to flip-flop in between Bell and Rogers every few years, depending on how annoyed we are. So currently at the moment, but here at the workshop, we don't have any choice. This is it. So we're hoping that they're going to upgrade the connectivity in this area, which would be amazing, because we run an online business here. And so there are days where, you know, Hannah will say, oh, the internet's been really slow today, or we'll find that it's just down and we have to use our phones as wireless hotspots, which can be a little bit annoying. But anyways, we also don't have the same kind of data plans that you have in the States. Data is still quite expensive, relatively speaking. So anyways, enough about that. Sampler September, here I am. So circling back to our open houses, best case scenario, I would love to do a holiday open house, but you know, judging by the state of the road out there, it won't happen until, you know, I don't even know, early December. And then, you know, you have to think about the weather and whether people are going to want to travel in for that. But anyways, all of these beautiful shop models were just sitting in the room downstairs. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just bring them upstairs so that I can enjoy them. I work in this room a lot, so I thought I'm gonna just bring them upstairs. Be a little bit selfish, and I'm bringing them upstairs so that I can enjoy them every day. There's still lots of models downstairs left, but I brought the ones up that were, you know, really kind of samplery September, get us in the spirit, get us in the mood. So So what I'll do is I will take you through what's on the wall in case you'd like to see a more close-up view of what is behind me. And there's more you can't see in this little viewfinder right now. So I'll turn you around in just a second. Okay, so I'll talk about the sock knitting in a little bit. So let's talk about our chart first. Day one, we are starting today. So yesterday's video, I talked about my plan, 272 approximate stitches per day. I am starting with the window that is, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna take the camera and I'll turn you around so that you can see my stitching, and then you'll have a much clearer picture of what's going on. Okay, here we go. So, as you can see, I've put my first few stitches in. It was very exciting. So, here's our chart. I am starting in the very middle, just underneath the very middle of the chart, which is this window right here. I'm going to stitch this window and this window, fill them in, see where my count is at, and then I'm going to work my way to the left. My plan is to stitch all of the windows first, then I'm going to count down. Well, I guess that's getting ahead of myself, isn't it? But the reason I'm starting with the windows is I always like to stitch the white stitches first, because I find if I stitch the white, like if I were to stitch the house first and then fill in the windows, I find that pulling my white floss through that brightly colored floss, it tends to pick up fibers. Sorry, look, there's my buddy. What you doing? Hey, you giving me the side eye? Anyway, the white stitches, it picks up fibers from around it. So it's just a little bit tidier, in my opinion, to do the white stitches first and then fill in the color around it. So that's why I've started there. So I've got my first few stitches in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my 272 stitches, and then I'll pop in a photo at the very end of this video and you can see my progress for today. Okay, sock knitting. I did cast on first thing this morning with my morning cup of coffee. My favorite thing to do in the morning is to do Luna's routine as soon as we get up. I wake up around 5:45, 6 a.m., take Luna out and feed her, and then still in my pajamas, make my first cup of coffee and go and climb back into bed with a little bit of knitting. So that's what I did this morning. I cast on sock number 1. I am knitting the Crazy Sock Lady heel toe do-si-do sock, and I finished the cast on and three and a half rounds, which completed color number 1. So you can see there's my cast on. Color number 1 is done, and now I'm moving into the mustard. So this pattern right out of the gate is making me do different things than I'm used to doing for my sock knitting. I normally do a very traditional cuff down, you know, 2x2 rib for my cuffs. But this pattern has a slightly different cuff construction. It is a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give away details, but I will say that I am really enjoying it, and it's not hard at all. So I'm curious to see what the finished cuff is going to look like. I can also tell you that I immediately want to dig into the second color. So I have a funny feeling that by the end of today, I'm gonna knit the mustard stripe too. Because, you know, I'm not sure that if only doing one color a day is actually going to give me a finished sock at the end of the month. And frankly, if I finish the sock sooner than the end of the month, that's okay. I'll just start sock number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and dig into stripe 2 this evening, because at nighttime, the way that I unwind right before bed, I have a warm cup of herbal tea, and some knitting. And so I have been trying to do a row of Sarah's Afghan as my nighttime knitting, if I'm not too tired, because those cables require a little bit of concentration. So I'm still gonna try and do that as well as my sock knitting. So are you enjoying it so far? Any questions, any problems? Oh, let me bring up that comment actually. That's a good thing to tell you about. On yesterday's video, where did that go? You see, when I respond to the comments, they disappear. So I just have to find it again. I found it. A comment from Terry yesterday, and I thought this was really a clever idea. Well, it's a helpful idea for those of you who, remember I said the afterthought heel, I didn't really enjoy it. So Terry left me the comment, you can do a short row heel if you would like a similar effect to the afterthought heel, but you don't want to cut stitches. There's a free pattern on Ravelry that teaches the method. I think it's called Wendy's Toe Up Sock. So, toe up socks. That is something I am not, again, I am very much a creature of habit. I always knit my socks cuff down. So starting a sock toe up would be a new technique for me to learn. And I'm not adverse to learning new techniques. But cutting my knitting, I'm not gonna be overly keen about doing that anymore. Can you, like steeking a sweater, could you imagine? Oh, I don't know if I'd sleep at night. Can you hear that? She is zonked. This is the soundtrack to my day because she just follows me around all day and lies down and goes to sleep wherever I am. So it's very comforting. Did you see her stairs? Her stairs for the car. Oh, my girl. She comes to work with me most days, unless her legs are really bothering her and someone is at home to be with her for the day. We adopted this dog shortly, maybe 6 months before the pandemic hit. And we adopted a dog knowing on her intake form at the Humane Society that she had anxiety when she was left alone. And we discovered very quickly that that was very true. She becomes destructive and self-destructive when left alone longer than about 2 hours. 2 hours is about the maximum. And then she starts to really, she's just, you know, she has destroyed a crate. She's, and herself in the process. She has scarring, old scarring on her feet, on her back paws that I can only imagine what caused it. We adopted her, she was about 6 years old, and these scars are old, like really, really old. And of course, we don't know her past. We don't know what happened. But anyway, fortunately, my husband and I, our jobs, my job especially, because she's, I seem to be her human, we are lucky enough that she can come with us. So she can come with me. But anyways, yes, her stairs allow her to not have to jump because that's just, she can't do it anymore. Anyway, enough about that. Let's show you the samplers that are behind me on the wall. Okay, so starting with this one in the top left, because that was the very first Sampler September project that we did here at Evertote. That was a collaboration with Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. And that was a mystery stitch along, and it was done with Roxy Floss on a linen that was we no longer carry, and it's called Mary Harry. It's beautiful. Next to that, we have a chart by Macy of Quaint Rose Needlearts called Rejoice Evermore. Then we have another Modern Folk Embroidery, I Am No Bird. Then we have Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch, There Is Always Room at the Table. There Is Always Room, I think is the title of it. That's a beauty. Over here we have Modern Folk Embroidery Love Gains. Down below, I believe that is Hannah Lavina from Blackbird Designs. And then we have another Maximum Cross Stitch, Angèle Armel. That's a beauty. Look at that. Above that, we have Quaint Rose Needlearts. Excuse me. Macy Quaint Rose Needlearts. That's Tweet Tweet. Above there, Matter's Choice. Carriage House Samplings. Modern Folk Embroidery, Isabella's Heart. And then down there, look at that. That is Ellen's model of September's Revenge. That's what we're stitching right there. So I've put it up as inspiration. And this little guy right here is one of my most favorite little pieces. That is a Jeanette Douglas ornament from, oh boy, either the 2014 or the 2015 Just Cross Stitch ornament issue. And I just love it. So I'll step back and you can see there's that wall and my 4 over there. So that's what I've got in my room, and lots of room. See, lots of empty wall space for more. And my friend. So it's a pretty nice spot. It's a little later in the day today. Just been doing a bit of work and thought I would check in, see how your stitching is coming along. I'm just about to have a little bit of, whoa, focus. There, lighting is a little, leaves something to be desired today. However, I'm just about to take a little lunch break, so I'm gonna put a few stitches in, see how much I can get done, and then, yeah, go from there. So I'm gonna quickly load in the video that I've, video and pictures that I've taken so far for today, and in case I don't have time to film anything else today for a visit with you, I just wanted to let you know that I will be back on Tuesday with the next video. We have some family coming into town from Montreal this weekend for the Labor Day weekend, and so I'll be taking some time over the next few days to spend with them. So I am going to be continuing on 272 stitches per day. I'll be posting my progress over on my Instagram page, which is at Evertotes, and in my stories. And then I started a highlight reel over there so that I can post the progression throughout the month of both the sock and the cross stitch piece. So I think that's fun to see, to watch them grow. Okay, so that's it for September 1, other than at the end of this video, once I've done my stitching for today, I'll post a photo so that you can see where I'm at. And if you're following along with me over the next couple of days, like I said before, I'm going to be working on all of those windows. I'm going to count my way down, and I'm going to do the door, and then I'm going to do the windows on the other side of the door. So I haven't calculated the amount of stitching, but I do have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I've got 3 more days of stitching as well as today. So let's see how much I can accomplish. I hope you're having fun. Happy September 1st. Happy Sampler September. We are cruising into fall, which is so nice. I know it's not fall quite yet, but I am a fall winter lover. I know not everybody is, but especially winter. That's my season. And this summer has been very strange. This summer has been very, very, very strange for everyone across the planet. So I know it's been a winter on the other side of the world, but I think you know what I mean. The weather for the last few months has just been, well, frankly, the pits. So, yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, I hope you're well. I hope that you're safe, and that you're enjoying some crafting, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Happy stitching, everyone. Take care. Okay, I know I said I was just going to put in a picture, but I can't help myself. Video is just so much easier for me to tell you about what I've done and what I'm going to do. Today's stitching is now finished. That is 271 stitches. I have stitched these 4 windows. So tomorrow, for tomorrow's stitching, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, the outline of the door and the top fill-in. So that's Saturday stitching. Sunday stitching, I'm going to do those 2 windows and the inside of the door, and then any stitches left over, I'm going to come and stitch this vine that's in front of the house there. And then Monday stitching, I'm going to move to the roof, and I'm going to do all of the roof color there. The brown, what color is the roof? I suspect it's plum shadow. Pretty sure it's plum shadow. So I'm gonna do the roof after that. That's the plan. So I will be posting my progress every day, probably around this time, around 3 o'clock. It is, sorry, I guess you don't know what time it is now, do you? It's about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Post my progress around 3 p.m. on Instagram in the stories. And please tag me in your Instagram posts so that I can see your stitching too. All right, that is it for me today. I will see you on Tuesday. Happy stitching, everyone.